following is a presentation of the National Sim Racing League of America. Enjoy the race. Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 11 in season number 7 of the NRLOA Chick-fil-A Cup Series. We are here at the Dover International Speedway for the Mr. Goodbar 400. 80 laps of action around the Monster Mile here on this Saturday morning, and speaking of the Monster Mile, I'm going to be at today's NASCAR Xfinity Series race. So if you see a guy wearing a Matt DiBenedetto shirt and a Front Row Motorsports hat and wearing glasses, that's me. So go ahead and high-five me if you see me. I'd be more than happy to talk to you. But anyways, most of you probably aren't going to today's race, and most of you are probably here to watch this race here today, and it's going to be an interesting one. 80 laps of action, and the race to the chase is on. In 10 races, we will set the 10-driver field for the playoffs this season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and it's on from here. You got to get these good finishes now, or otherwise you might lose your chance at making it on to the playoffs. So here at Dover, passing isn't too frequent, so do you think we're going to see any strategy at a guy starting in the back in this race? Maybe some undercutting going on here at Dover?
I definitely think so. I definitely say so. I gotta tell you, Dover, it's a fast track. Called Monster Mile for a reason. I can definitely say that there's going to be some good racing, aggression, but the big thing is they got to be careful around this track.
Definitely do. And this is a very treacherous racetrack, a very fast and tight racetrack. It's like Bristol, only twice as big. And it's going to be pretty crazy here today at the Dover International Speedway. Here is how they line up in the point standings coming into today's event. John Stewart, 323 points towards the championship, a 40-point lead ahead of Diego Yepes and Cody Sill. And then fourth place, it's Brad Stover, 41 points behind, and Roger Ray, 47 points behind coming into today's event. John Stewart has been doing a great job this season. 2 wins already. He is the only driver to have completed every single lap so far this season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. So, he's a very good rookie. And we have never seen a rookie win a championship in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series before. It might be him this season. But you never know. Still a long season left to go. 20 more races until we crown a champion. Now we're on to the next stop here at Dover. Let's go ahead and head trackside for the command here in the Mr. Goodbar 400.
Drivers, start your engines.
And a great command there to fire these guys up for the 11th time this season here at the Dover International Speedway, the Monster Mile. And starting on the pole for today's event, it is Nathan Stapleton who grabbed the fastest time at qualifying yesterday, the only driver to go under 22 seconds. So he's got a pretty fast hot rod there for Hamill Racing Enterprises. That team has 3 wins on the season already, with Nathan Stapleton, Justin Roberts, and last weekend, Cookie Helms winning for their Uncharted ride. Daniel McMillan, Rockingham winner from earlier this season, is alongside him. Row number 2, Ashland Boyd, the Turkey Hill Series winner from Talladega last weekend. He's alongside the 32 of Diego Yepes, still trying to get that points lead. He's yet to lead in the points this season, but he's been a very strong driver for American Motorsports. Here, Jalarvin Alonso starts alongside Alexander Rowe, defending winner of this race here at Dover. 74 of Adam Lewis, uncharted driver alongside Ace Garcia in the 92. And then it's Jonathan Wong and Brad Stover in row number 5. Tanker Motorsports all in the top 12 with Julio Caesar and Richard Kingart rounding out the top 12 positions here at Dover. Everybody's rolling off, ready to get this one started. It's the Monster Mile in Dover, Delaware. We're green flag racing in the Mr. Goodbar 400. Lap 1 led by Ashland Boyd, and he gets the one he deserved in Martinsville after he started on the pole for that race. He did not even lead a lap. That's because Justin Roberts came in 3 wide to take it away from him. Well, he did the same thing to Nathan Stapleton to finally get his first lap led in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. How about Herjalarvin Alonso there at the start? From the 5th position, now he's going for the lead to the inside of the uncharted driver.
Yeah, this is really going to get interesting here. It's just going to show who's going to be better here, who's got the performance, the charter drivers or the non-charters.
Of course, the unchartered drivers here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series are also with chartered teams, so they're going to have a very powerful car underneath the hood. But you see Ashland Boyd, he got stuck on the outside as Alonso got to the inside of him, and he fell back to 4th. The outside lane's no place to be here at Dover. And you see Nathan Stapleton, he has nowhere to go in the 54 as he's stuck in this outside lane right now. But anyways, Alexander Rowe is up to the 2nd position. He dove to the inside on the first lap to get to the inside lane. And Daniel McMillan rounds out the top 3. All veterans in the top 3, with Herjalarvin Alonso leading the field. Now, he's a guy who needs a great finish. This is his retirement season, and he'd love to make it in the chase and battle for a championship in his last season here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And it's looking pretty good right now for the Zach Ryan International machine of Herjalarvin Alonso.
Yeah, this is really showing good for Herjalarvin Alonso, and also for other drivers like Daniel McMillan, who's currently running in the 3rd spot, but also Alexander Rowe running in the 2nd spot. So
yeah,
it's
both
really
these guys, all 3 of these guys have a lot of experience, and of course Alexander Rowe, the defending winner of this race, so it is no surprise to be seeing these guys running up front, and not even Alonso. Alonso's been in this series longer than those other 2 guys. He's got a lot of experience and a lot of talent at that. I think he's got 11 wins on Napa Fan. Only 1 in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but he'd love to get number 2 here today at Dover. But Alexander Rowe, Daniel McMillan closing in fast. But how about the uncharted drivers rounding out the top 5? With the 36 of Ashland Boyd and Adam Lewis, who is a veteran in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. He raced last season. He's running in the 5th position right now. Julio Caesar, 34 of Aaron Walpole. Michael Canto, Jesse Turner still looking for his first top 10 of the season. He's won here before in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. And Roger Ray, right now 10th. He comes into this race 5th in the points. Great run for him here today. How about Matt Dalio in the 12th position? He's had a tough season so far, but here he is, running 12th for NRLOA Motorsports. Back to the lead, and looks like McMillan's on Alexander Rowe there for the 2nd position. Great run for the 75, Matt Dalio's teammate. And all 3 of the NRLOA Motorsports guys are doing pretty good. All in the top 12 right now, so McMillan, he's essentially been the leader of the NRLOA Motorsports team, I guess with the exception of you, because you got the win at California for NRLOA Motorsports a few weeks ago, but they're trying to find their strength with their veteran drivers, Jesse Turner and Matt Dalio, and they've yet to do so. I believe Turner comes into this race 30th in the points. A great run is needed for him here today at Dover.
Yeah, it's definitely being shown here, but let's kind of take a look at Herjalarvin Alonso here. I mean, he's running really good. As you said before, he's only got 1 win in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. A little stats off to the side. He's been running in the NRLOA Wheel and Modified Tour from Season 1 all the way up to the most recent season, and only won the Season 1 title. After that, he's been having dismal seasons in the NRLOA Wheel and Modified Tour. So my guess is, if he wins today, I'm hoping that redeems himself. So that way, when he comes back to the NRLOA Wheel and Modified Tour, he has the confidence to go for that 2nd title.
Yeah, and that'll be over the summer over on the NRLOA channel. Me and Alex will be doing that, and it's going to be very fun watching those modifieds on the short tracks. Of course, some people call Dover a short track. I don't. You don't go 180 miles per hour on a short track. But still, a great track here at Dover, and Daniel McMillan trying to close in on the number 40. It's Ashland Boyd, Adam Lewis, and now Aaron Walpole in the 5th position. Alexander Rowe fell back to 7th. And that outside lane is just killer here at Dover. Now, all 3 NRLOA Motorsports cars are in the top 10. Matt Dalio in 9th with Turner in 6th. And, of course, Daniel McMillan threatening Herjalarvin Alonso for the lead.
Yeah, Daniel McMillan is really putting on a performance here today. He wants to be the driver to lead the group. Now, with the NRLOA Motorsports, like myself, as you said, I've only got the lone win for the team.
Actually, McMillan did win at Rockingham, so they do have 2 wins now with you and Daniel McMillan. But still, I mean, NRLOA Motorsports trying to find their rhythm, and they're doing so with McMillan, and I think they're doing so right now. Now, Dalio, he fell outside the top 10, got stuck on the outside, but still, I think the guy who really needs a good run is Jesse Turner, especially after all the laps he has led this season. He has led more laps than anybody, but has yet to get a top 10, and it's tough to see that. But anyways, I know, it's my team. I should stop talking about him. But hey, you know what? Why not? A lot of storylines going on over there in NRLOA Motorsports. But a storyline here, Chevrolet has not won a race yet this season, already halfway through the regular season, and they are winless here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Zach Ryan International in a strong need of a good run, and right now they might have it with Herr Gillard and Alonso. He's led the most laps so far, and he's hanging on to the lead with Daniel McMillan and Ashland Boyd right behind him. Aaron Walpole to the inside of the 74 for fourth, and that might open the door for Jesse Turner in the 77 as well.
Yeah, this is really getting interesting in this race. Lap 17 of 80. And we're already having contests for the lead. We haven't even gotten up to a green flag pit stop yet. So, see all this passing, all this action, it's really showing the interest here today at Dover.
Yeah, McMillan came close to getting to the inside of the number 40 of Herr Gillard and Alonso, could not do so. And Ashland Boyd trying to become the third uncharted driver to win a race here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. You saw it last week with Cookie Helms. And we got a good chance today with either Adam Lewis or the number 36 of Ashland Boyd. A logjam back in here as Walpole gets around the 74. Jesse Turner trying to get to the inside of the 34 here. Not able to do so, but he moves up to the 5th position. Jonathan Wong to the inside of his teammate, and Alexander Rowe trying to rebound after falling back early on in this one. Roger Ray, Christian Vargas round out the top 10. It's great to see Christian Vargas in the top 10 after the very tough season he's had so far. And even Jonathan Wong's had a tough season. He's in the top 10 right now in the 39. Great to see those rookies get good runs after a tough start to their seasons.
Yeah, it's really showing that even though there's some downs, there are also some ups in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and it's really showing today. It
definitely is. Back to the lead, it's still Alonso, and I think green flag pit stops are beginning. That is our points leader, the 04 of John Stewart. We were talking about undercutting earlier on at the top of the broadcast, and it looks like our points leader is doing so, and why not? You got a 40-point lead. You don't have too much to lose at this point, so why not try a little bit of strategy now? The only thing he does not want to see is a caution come out. That's how we got the win at Richmond. He does not want to be on the receiving end of that deal, but it does appear that he's still the only guy to come down so far, so interesting there for the 04 team. But we'll see what he does as this race goes along. Alonso might have overshot the corner there and almost hit the outside wall. And I'm wondering if any of these guys are going to come down here soon. We'll check through the field here and see if there's any takers. Roger Ray will come down the pit lane, and here we go. First set of green flag pit stops here today in the Mr. Goodbar 400 at Dover.
Yeah, this is going to show some interest in this race. And there's no doubt in that. I keep saying that there's interest in this race, and there really is. I mean, now that we're starting with green flag pit stops, there are drivers that want to see if they can last longer than the others out on track. So far right now, a lot of these guys are coming down, and it's around the pit window. If not, maybe a little bit of an undercut, but some of them are going to keep pulling on for more laps over and over again just to make sure that they can get as much out of the tires and fuel as they can before they can say, okay, enough is enough. Time to come down the pit lane and make a pit stop.
So Daniel McMillan, I believe he is the leader right now in the 75. He's gotten around Alonso because Alonso's come down the pit lane. You see Nathan Stapleton, he's deep in the field after starting on the pole for this one. And the two Autism Speaks machines, and it's kind of fitting these two cars are in this race, as Autism Speaks is half of the sponsor for the real Dover race in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. So great to see those two cars right there being represented in today's event. Alonso off the pit lane here, and I believe John Stewart is going to gain like crazy. I don't know if he's a lap down at this point. He's 2 laps down, so he's not going to gain his lap back here. He's a lap down already. There might have been an issue on John Stewart's machine. He came down before anybody else, but he's going to be much faster at this moment. He's got the warm tires, and he might get around Alonso here and get one of his laps back. See where Daniel McMillan falls in, and he is going to be way, way, way behind the number 40 of here, Gillard and Alonso, and even Rowe, and Alonso just tapped the outside wall again. I saw him do that earlier on in the race, and it looks like he did it for a second time. Not quite what the number 40 wanted.
That might be that the car is tightening up a little. I mean, if Joe and Alonso did come down the pit lane earlier, they might have thought that they made an adjustment on the car, but at that point, think again.
Yeah. So it is Alonso, the leader here at Dover, with Roger Ray, Jesse Turner in third. And I'm sure Turner is just praying he gets a top 10 here today. I mean, it's been a struggle for this team. And I mean, I allude to it so much because there were 2 races where he probably should have won that he didn't because he had to come down the pit lane at the end of the race. But Turner is hoping it does not happen here today at Dover. He's up to the 3rd position with Daniel McMillan. And how about Christian Vargas? Up to the 5th position for Wade Enterprises. A great run for the rookie driver. I believe he's going for his first top 10 of the season, if I'm not mistaken, in that 06 machine. And we really have not seen much of him this season, but great to see that 06 up front. Alexander Rowe, Ashlyn Boyd, Aaron Walpole. How about Brad Stover? And I think John Stewart is right now 39th. So that's great news for Brad Stover to get back up in the points lead possibly. He won't do it in this race, but he'll be really close to John Stewart at the end of the day if he finishes where he is. His teammate Matthew Phillips is right now 10th, with Matt Dallio and Adam Lewis rounding out the top 12 here at Dover. And Roger Ray has closed right up to Joe and Alonso for the lead. We're going to have ourselves a battle for the top position here. And as a matter of fact, we got a battle right now. Roger Ray right on the number 40 trying to take the lead away from the Filipino driver here at Dover.
Yeah, this is going to get interesting here. We're on lap 30 of 80. We know that they're going to have to make one more pit stop before the end of the day today. So at that point, it all kind of depends on when the leaders come down. And most importantly, will we have a new leader by the time before those pit stops even occur? At this point, Roger Ray, the way he's performing right now, looks like it's possible.
Yeah, we're just going to have to see how it all shakes out. There will be at least 2 more pit stops in this one, and that should be it. We've gone caution-free so far, and we'll see if we can continue that streak going. I mean, a lot of these guys kind of midway through are hoping for a caution so they can close in. They got a little ways behind Alonso right now, but see, Roger Ray was able to close in, but Alonso was able to pull back out front, so we'll see how Alonso can maneuver around these lapped cars, or soon-to-be lapped cars, I should say. They're on the tail end of the lead lap. Jordan Carter and the 04 John Stewart. We saw 2 cars a lap down, or 2 laps down, I should say. Garrett Sonor and Nicholas Samadillo, and I'm not really sure how those guys ended up 2 laps down, but that's an unfortunate one for those guys who are back in the field right now. Alonso to the inside of John Stewart. It's going to put him a lap down. That is not good at all for our points leader coming into this race with a 40-point lead, and this is the day he gets. I mean, it's just been a topsy-turvy season for John Stewart. And here's the thing for John Stewart. He is something at risk right now, being a lap down. He is the only driver to have completed every lap so far. I am sure he wants to continue that streak, but right now he would lose a lap. And that would mean that no driver in the field would have completed every single lap so far after 11 races. So John Stewart hoping he does not finish a lap down in this one, but he's losing ground to Alonso as he's driving away in the number 40.
Yeah, Alonso's really showing that he's got the kind of the redemption in him in this one to try and gain that second victory in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, get his confidence up, show that he's still a force to be reckoned with here in the NRLOA.
Yeah, and after Elijah Gordon announced his retirement, we got a smoker, William Brock. That's a day done for the 88 team. We might want to watch for this if he comes back on the racetrack. Oh, he's going to lose it, or is he? Trying to save it. If he stops on the racing surface, then we got ourselves an issue and a caution. And we've seen that happen. It was the Dodge Throwback Series back in 2017 when we raced here. The only caution in that event was for a issue on one of the drivers. It looks like William Brock will be able to maneuver that thing back to the pit lane, however. And hopefully we can avoid a yellow flag here.
Yeah, and it's happened before, as you said before, in the Dodge Throwback Series. It happened where someone stopped on track, and it even happened in the NRLOA Wheel and Modified Tour, and that infamous season that I nearly had the opportunity to win the title for the NRLOA Wheel and Modified Tour. An engine expired, I stopped on the track, and it was race done.
Yeah, it's not at all a good feeling, and William Brock's had a tough season so far, so it's just continuing to go worse for that Beast Racing team. The other 2 drivers on Beast Racing are doing pretty good with Zachary Fitzwater and Tristan Allen. But William Brock, after his hiatus after last season, has just not found his rhythm yet here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Alonso's found his rhythm, and I was about to say, Elijah Gordon, like I said, announced his retirement, and of course Alonso announced his retirement beforehand. We didn't really focus on it too much, but we focused on Elijah Gordon's retirement a little bit more, and Alonso wasn't, the happiest about that. But hey, man, you're leading right now. You're beating Elijah Gordon, so be happy about that. You're doing better than him right now, so you got something up your sleeve that he doesn't at the moment. And Alonso hanging on to a pretty dominating performance right now here at Dover. In the number 40 for Zach Ryan International. Halfway next time by him, the Mr. Goodbar 400 here at Dover. Got Roger Ray running second. Jesse Turner, Daniel McMillan, and Christian Vargas. The top 5. And John Stewart's just falling off the grid right now in the 04. Those tires, they are a little bit more worn compared to everybody else around him, and he is falling fast. It's a tough break for him here today, but he'd still be the points leader after this one, as he had a 40-point lead coming into today's event. We'll see what he can do going in the Mosport next weekend and see if he can possibly get another win. But Alonso pulling out to a 2-second lead right now, and we haven't really seen any races, maybe with the exception of Riverside, be dominated by one guy like we've seen Alonso so far. Justin Roberts is pretty much dominated at Riverside, but all the other races, they haven't really been dominated by a guy and have been won by that same guy. Alonso's hoping to just dominate this thing and come home with the victory, and right now he's en route to do so here at Dover.
Yeah, he's really showing that, this race, he's saying, I'm back, I'm still here, and I need that attention, and he's really performing with it today.
They're starting to bunch up for second. Roger Ray, Jesse Turner, Daniel McMillan, they're all on each other right here, and that is for the second position. You see Turner closing in on the 48. I mean, Alonso, he keeps on gaining on the 48 of Roger Ray here, so that number 40 team has put a very good car in the hands of Alonso here at Dover.
Yes, they definitely have, but remember, we have one more pit stop beforehand. What's to say that during that pit stop, something goes wrong and it costs Alonso the win?
We're actually going to have two more. I think we're going to have two more after this one. We're going to have two more after this one, so you're right. I mean, what if something goes amiss on Alonso's pit stop? What if someone runs into him on the pit lane? What if a caution comes out? So all those things the driver's thinking of when you're dominating a race like this. What if something happens that makes me lose this one? And if you're Alonso, you're just hoping you can race a clean one out from here on and just fly away into the sunset with the victory. But he's flying away right now. A 3-second lead on Roger Ray, and now that's Jesse Turner. I think Roger Ray was just losing it. He probably had a tight race car, and he was just falling off like crazy, and Turner finally got around him. Now, if there's anybody who's going to contest for this win other than Jalarvin and Alonso, it might be Jesse Turner, because Turner has been moving his way through the field very significantly, and here we go for the second set of pit stops here at Dover. We'll see if Jesse Turner can get a good pit stop here as he comes down with Roger Ray, and of course I'm sure Roger Ray is definitely wanting an adjustment on his car. He fell back tremendously, definitely not the way he wanted his car during that run.
Yeah, and the way Jesse Turner is, as you said before, Napa fan, if he could just come home with a top 10, that'd be a great day. But if he could come home with a win, he'd be absolutely speechless for how much of the performance it was today. And honestly, in my opinion so far, it looks like Jesse Turner may have that opportunity. But then again, Jalarvin Alonso is really performing out there today. So who's to say it'll be Jesse Turner's day?
Jesse Turner did come down a lap before Alonso. He'll have a one-lap advantage on the tires, and his tires will be warmed up by the time the cycle is complete. Adam Lewis, I believe he led a lap there in the 74, and Matthew Phillips there, and they're kind of all over the place. As some guys coming down, some guys staying out right now. But we'll see where Alonso comes out here in relation to Jesse Turner. There's Alonso. Here comes Turner in the 77. But there's like a whole straightaway in between the 40 and the 77. But I think Turner's going to close in here. I think Jesse Turner has a much faster race car right now than the number 40. You see Alonso coming off the pit lane right there. Or coming off of turn 4, I should say. And Jesse Turner trying to close in the number 77. And we'll see what the differential is once they all cycle through. Elijah Gordon in the 5. I think he's a lap down. And with these, long green flag runs, we get a lot of guys who end up a lap down, and Turner's getting stuck on the outside here as Gordon gets around him. That's not at all what Turner wants to see as he's trying to close in on the number 40. But it looks like it was another great pit stop for Herjel and Alonso, and it's not cycled through quite yet, but he's going to have a lot more to deal with in front of him now, because he's got John Arndt here, Stuart Grattan, they're all going to be in his way. He's got to be careful here with Stuart Grattan getting to the inside of him. And you're just going to have to see where this all cycles through. I know Alonso is, in fact, the leader. Jesse Turner, 1.7 seconds behind, but oh my goodness, look at all these guys getting around Turner here who are a lap down. Christian Vargas will be third off the pit lane. Roger Ray, and then we got a lot of guys a lap down after that set of pit stops. Alexander Rowe is fifth. Ashlyn Boyd is sixth. Aaron Walpole, Julio Caesar, Matthew Phillips, Matt Dalio. That's the top 10 off the pit lane. Adam Lewis, and then Daniel McMillan are 11th and 12th. Brad Stover still on the lead lap in the 99. Zachary Fitzwater is 14th. Then it's Michael Canto. The 16 of Jay Jefferson's on the lead lap. Patrick Smith, Diego Yepes, Andrew Miller, Jonathan Wong, Blaine Keys, Justin Knight, Ace Garcia, Justin Heath, Jordan Carter, and Tristan Allen, all on the lead lap here at Dover, as Alonso holds on to a 2.5 second lead. Lap 53 of 80. There will be one more pit stop in this race, guaranteed, and it's all going to come down to that one, as it does appear that this one is going to go caution-free until the end. Now, it's not a guarantee. You never know when a couple of guys could tangle here at the Concrete Canyon. But it has a pretty good green flag look to it here today at Dover, and that's good news for Alonso if he's going to come home with this victory here today. Now, Jesse Turner has Christian Vargas right behind him. That is for second. Turner trying to get around the rest of these guys so he can close in on Alonso if he has the car to do so. Of course, he's hoping that John Arndt and Stuart Grattan get to the inside of Alonso here. That slows that number 40 down, but I mean, Alonso, he's just got a rocket ship. He is pulling away from Turner now, a 3-second lead here at Dover. This is, no question, Alonso's race to lose.
And I definitely don't doubt that. For a second, I thought it was Jesse Turner's race to have a good chance, or at least put up a good fight with Alonso. When Elijah Gordon got in the way, I can already tell that Alonso's going to start running away with it. And I feel after the race, maybe Jesse Turner and Elijah Gordon will have some words exchanged.
Yeah, of course, Elijah Gordon, I believe he was trying to get his lap back, but he's a lap down in 29th. And you see him here. Well, you know what? He might help out Turner here if he can get to the inside of Alonso there. Of course, both Grattan and John Arndt are getting their laps back, getting around the 40 of Herjel and Alonso. And Turner trying to hang on the second as Christian Vargas is all over his back bumper, with Justin Roberts a lap down right behind those guys. And we have ourselves only 27 guys on the lead lap. Quite a few guys, now 28 guys on the lead lap. Quite a few guys a lap down after that cycle of pit stops. And Elijah Gordon, Cameron Garlington, and Cody Siller closing in. And Christian Vargas for second on Jesse Turner. That is not at all what the 77 wants to see.
Yeah, it definitely is, and Jesse Turner really wants to try and get back up here into the fight, but it doesn't look like there's really much of a fight at this point. Although I can say, though, maybe something's going to happen. I mean, you're looking at Alonso right now, like, he had John Arndt and Stuart Grattan lapped, ready to go, and those two managed to gain their laps back. So maybe there's something going on with Alonso's car. Maybe they're loose, maybe they're tight. Something is there, and it's affecting Alonso badly.
I don't think it's affecting him too much. I just think John Arndt and Stuart Grattan have really good cars, but now Cameron Garlington is looking to the inside of the 40 here, and if Garlington gets to the inside, then Cody Sill will get to the inside, and probably Elijah Gordon as well. Justin Roberts. Oh my goodness, look at all these guys getting around. And something happened to the 06, I think. Nope, no, there he is. Justin Roberts got around the 06 there of Christian Vargas, and all these lap cars are just playing such of a factor into the lead battle. They're trying to get their laps back, and they're racing with the leaders like they're on the lead lap, and it's resulting in Alonso just pulling away. I mean, you see what happened to Christian Vargas and Jesse Turner. Turner's now almost 5 seconds behind, so not quite what the 77 wanted if he wanted to get a possible win here today. But still, like you said, a top 10 is definitely going to be a great thing for him if they can, in fact, get it. And right now, they just got to hold on, get a good pit stop on the final set, and they should be good to go for their first top 10 of the season. But Alonso going for his second win of his career. And Garlington to the inside, and I just let him go if I were him, because you got a 4-second lead. Don't race him too hard. Use up your stuff. It's under 20 laps to go here at Dover. It's been caution-free so far. I do not believe we've had a caution-free race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series since, I want to say it was probably Riverside. Yeah, I think it was Riverside because I do believe we had some cautions at Texas. None here today at Dover, and it's been a dominating performance for Herjolov and Alonso. Wasn't quite the day I expected here at Dover, but still, it's great to see these guys just race it out, and the fastest car wins.
Well, it's that, but it's also strategy. I'm kind of looking at Jesse Turner, and I can see why he's kind of just dropping down the field a little bit. And I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but what's the possibility that he's just saving his stuff and conserving to where he can be able to just lay back and just wait until at least within at least maybe the last 10 laps or 5 laps? Because, as you said before, everyone has to make one more pit stop. What's to say Jesse Turner is not saving his stuff up so that way he's wearing the tires a whole lot less, he's using less fuel, and there would be a good chance that he could probably run away with the win. This is a good possibility for Jesse Turner, but who knows at this point.
The thing is, though, he's going to have a huge issue on Alonso's part if he's going to have a chance at this one. I think the only chance that anybody else has at winning this race is if Alonso makes a mistake. He's got a nearly 5-second lead on second place right now, and you never know. We've seen crazier things happen before, but I know if I'm here to Herjolov and Alonso, I just don't want that to happen. I want this race to go green to the end, and I want to get this win. I mean, we have not had any chances of a caution in this race either. We saw a possible chance yesterday in the Turkey Hills Series, and the eventual race winner was one of those guys who almost got involved in it. But here today, it has been clean and green the whole way through, but we're not done yet with the action. And it's going to come down to this last cycle of pit stops here at Dover Downs, even though it's not really called that anymore, but the Dover Downs Casino is like right next to the racetrack, so we're kind of right there. But still, it fell to 4 seconds there as Alonso got passed by Cody Sill and Elijah Gordon. And, I mean, you just see, you got 3 lap cars in between him and second place. It's just going to take a lot for anybody behind Alonso to get this win.
Yeah, it's definitely without a doubt a chance, but is it possible that Alonso's trying to conserve up? Is it possible that he's going to be pitting this lap or maybe even the next lap?
We do see John Stewart in. There's Zachary Fitzwater down the pit lane, so the last cycle is beginning. Alonso's got to be careful as all this lap traffic in his way. He does not want to get involved in any incident trying to come down the pit lane. We've seen it happen quite a few times before, and I think he is conservative right now as you see Christian Vargas closing in. Of course, Vargas does not have anybody around him, so that's why Vargas is able to close in there on the 06. But if I'm Jesse Turner, I'm short pitting now. I'm coming down right now, get those fresh tires before him, and maybe, just maybe, have some sort of advantage. Hope for Alonso to have an issue on his pit stop and maybe close in. 5 seconds is quite a bit of time on just a 1-lap advantage, but we'll see what he can do here. And Alonso's now coming down. And it's lap 71 of 80. 10 laps to go in the Mr. Goodbar 400. A 3-stop race here at Dover today. There's Christian Vargas coming down. And the lead will go to the 36 car, I do believe, of Ashlyn Boyd. So he'll lead another lap. Matthew Phillips still out there. And these 2 guys still out there as well. Adam Lewis and Aaron Walpole. Check in on Jesse Turner, see where he's going to come out in relation to everybody else here. And there he goes. He's leaving the pit lane as Alonso is beginning his pit stop, so he's got to get around here and just hope that Alonso has an issue. But we're going to focus on this critical pit stop by Herjolov and Alonso. Alex in a row right behind him. And if I'm one of these guys, I would almost, possibly think of, like, taking just 2 tires. It's only going to be a few laps left in this thing, and if you just take 2 tires, you might get around the 40. But doesn't look like it's going to work out for Jesse Turner too well here, as Alonso is just long gone in the number 40. I have not seen a performance like this out of anybody in a long, long time.
Now, I know a lot of people are still trying to make a pit stop, but I have a gut feeling that someone had to have stayed out or has made a pit stop already and is just trying at this point to conserve and make it to the end so that way they could say that they pulled the rabbit out of the hat, so to speak, in the ways of gambling all the way to the end.
It's going to take a huge rabbit to pull if you're going to win this one from Alonso. But we'll just have to see. You see Turner is just way, way behind in the 77. There is no chance at all he's going to catch up. It's going to take Alonso crashing these last few laps for anybody else to get this win. It's as simple as that. How about Cameron Garlington? I don't know. He had to come down, so he actually had stayed out there. But there's Turner. He is trying to close in, but he's got like 4 seconds, and to close that up in 7 laps is it's just nearly impossible. Alonso getting around Trey Bartow, putting him a lap down. Now, nonetheless, for Jesse Turner, this is a great day, and he's finally going to get a top 10, most likely. The only thing he's hoping for is if Alonso crashes, and there's nobody around him, so that essentially does it. But how about this performance by Sergio Larvin Alonso? I mean, he got to the lead from 5th. Lap 3 of the race, he took the lead, and he never looked back. I mean, just a strong car for Zach Ryan International. Are you surprised? We really haven't seen much strength out of this team coming into this race. Are you surprised by this performance by the Chevy team?
Oh, I'm definitely surprised, especially from Alonso as well. Alonso, as I said before, in the Modified Tour, only won 1 championship, and then after that was just dismal performance. He's coming in today saying, I'm still around. I want to win, and he's going to deliver that. And it's at this point, no matter what it takes for him.
And it hasn't really taken too much of your day. That team built a rocket ship now. He's still like closing in on these lap cars. He's got to be careful. Oh boy. You know, the way he was closing in there on Diego Yepes, he might have run into him, but he didn't. Yepes definitely with an ip in that 32, not going near as fast as our leader. And Alonso's just cutting through these lap cars like a hot knife through butter, but Yepes is holding them up here. He's not getting around him. That's an issue.
Yeah.
And it looks like Jordan Carter might try to get to the inside of him. It's not going to happen there. Think about Turner. He's got Cody Silla and Trey Bartow to get around if he's going to have a chance at Alonso. It's just not enough time at all. And it's going to be the white flag next time by here in the Mr. Goodbar 400. And Sergio Larvin Alonso. Just a great performance here today for the Zach Ryan International team. He's going to get around his teammate. There's he takes the white flag at Dover. 1 lap to go for Sergio Larvin Alonso in his retirement season. And he's got Elijah Gordon right in front of him. The other retiring driver, or one of the other retiring drivers from this season here. And he's going to get around him. Off of turn 4. A dominating performance by Sergio Larvin Alonso. His 2nd career Chick-fil-A Cup Series victory here today. And it comes race 11 of season 7 in the Mr. Goodbar 400 at Dover. In a caution-free event here at the Monster Mile. And it is another veteran getting a victory here today in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. They close it out ahead of him. How about that one? It was just a flawless performance, and it's great to see that kind of flawless performance not get screwed because of a caution or a issue on the pit lane. It just worked out for him, and a lot of guys are wishing they had the day like Sergio Larvin Alonso, like Jesse Turner at Martinsville, like Jesse Turner at Rockingham. So many opportunities for guys to get good runs this season that have been messed up by issues on the pit lane or just issues on the racetrack that took him out of contention. But for Alonso, everything worked out perfectly. And when you're a race team owner, you want to see a race like that, and Alonso sure is happy about this win.
Yeah, he definitely is. Sergio Larvin Alonso, I can now say that you are a 2-time Chick-fil-A Cup Series winner. Congratulations, you deserve it.
So all these guys back in here. Only guy who failed to finish was William Brock, and you see all those guys a lap down and then some. Nathan Stapleton started on the pole. He finished deep in the field. Same with Ace Garcia. He was up there. John Stewart did not get a good run today in the 04 as the points leader. Not at all what he wanted to see, and it was just all over the place from second on back. But once Alonso took the lead, he did not look back. And Sergio Larvin Alonso with the victory here today at the Dover International Speedway. This race went by a lot faster than I thought it would. I mean, I was not expecting a caution-free race here today, but we got one. And I'm sure that Alonso is happy that this thing went caution-free. Jesse Turner finally with a top 10. a bridesmaid here today, but considering he did not lead a lap, not too bad for the number 77 of Jesse Turner. Alex NRLOA finishing third, Roger Ray and Christian Vargas with a top 10 here today for Wade Enterprises. Ashlyn Boyd, Julio Caesar, Matt Dahlia with a top 10, Matthew Phillips, and Aaron Walpole. So a great run for all those guys here today, especially Walpole, who's had a tough season as well, and great to see him get another top 10. I believe this is fourth top 10 of the season. So Walpole's starting to catch back on to this Chick-fil-A Cup Series racing here for American Motorsports. But anyways, Alex, how about this one at Dover? Didn't really expect what we saw today, but you think it was a pretty good race?
Oh, I thought it was a very good race. Just a dominating performance by Hergel Arvin Alonso. The way he ran today, the way now that he has won twice in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, it's brought his confidence back, and I think he'll perform better this season. I expect some pretty bright futures ahead for Hergel Arvin Alonso.
Yeah, of course, this is his last season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, and now his goal is to make the chase and contend for a championship in his retirement season. He's going to be battling with Elijah Gordon and Richard Kinger for that honor that Tyler Salzman got in season number 5, winning in his last season. And Alonso would love to be that guy, let me tell you that. But anyways, congratulations to Hergel Arvin Alonso, your winner here at Dover in the Mr. Goodbar 400. And like I said, if you see me, or you see a guy with a Matt DiBenedetto shirt and a Front Row Motorsports hat wearing glasses at the Dover International Speedway today on Saturday, that's me. That's Napa fan right there. And go ahead and high-five me, and I'll high-five you back. And it'd be pretty cool to meet some of you guys. You know, I always wanted to meet Alex, but he's all the way down in North Carolina. It's a little ways from me. But hey, I know some of you guys might be there, so check me out if you do. Find me. That'd be great. But anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Here are the point standings after 11 races here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. Next weekend, it's Mosport for the second road course race of the season, and that has a good possibility of being dominated by one guy as well. So watch qualifying next week. That's going to be majorly important for the Canadian Tire 350K. But anyways, we're done here at Dover, and we're on to Mosport. Thank you guys very much for watching. Congratulations to Hergel Arvin Alonso. On behalf of Alex Bonsignor, I will see you guys later.
So I will fight for you through fire and flood.